Toughness and aggressiveness. Okay, go back 20 years. That's what we started on 25 years ago. Hasn't changed. Toughness and aggressiveness. If we get after it from the beginning, let them know that we came to play. Let them know that we're not taking a backseat because of their record. So defense wins big games. There's no bigger game. Get out and be solid, be physical. Guys, this is the way you do it.
We got 6 games left in this regular season. 4 of those are against top 5 and up ranked teams. And 5 of these ball clubs we're going to play probably will make the NCAA tournament.
If there's going to be a lot more season left for Michigan State, they're going to need continued excellent play out of that young man, Aaron Henry.
At the beginning of the season, Michigan State was looking for some leadership. Well, they found it. And leading doesn't just mean you score the ball. It means you get guys in their spots, you give them confidence when they need to be lifted up. They're going to need a lot of leadership against this Illinois team tonight.
So it all begins this evening with Illinois, a team that comes in ranked 5th and is red hot. Coburn spins, no. Rebound gathered up over there by Gradison. He can't do much. Now he gets in the wing over there to Trent Frazier, and he drains a 3, and that's your first points of this game.
Now driving inside, got that one over the outstretched arms of Coburn. The first 2 for Michigan State and for Rocket Watts.
Here comes from Langford, top of the key, coming off a pick. Nothing but net. First 2 for Josh Langford. With it in the wing over there. Aaron Henry working. Floaters away from the baseline. Good! Wide open for a wide open 3. I mean, there was nobody near Dosumu, and he gets his first tray of the game.
Maybe that 3 will help them get going.
Coburn, big rebound, muscles it up and in. Watts out, it goes to Henry in the corner.
He got it.
Love that extra pass by Aaron Henry, and great job by Josh.
Now Gabe Brown gets a down-court pass wide open for a 3. He got it.
In transition, he was just left wide open and knocks down the 3.
Michigan State's getting open looks and making baskets.
In the corner, Henry skip pass to Langford, and Langford's pull-up will drop.
Brad Underwood has seen enough. He's called a timeout as MSU is off to its biggest lead of the game so far. Spartans 24, Illini 16.
Left in there for Coburn. Coburn muscles it up and in. Gathers and finishes. Quickly ahead, though. Patience, bucket, and a foul as Marcus Bingham will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
This is a fight going on right now. 2 teams who really want it.
So any chance you get to put your foot on the gas, you got to keep it on there.
Michigan State takes a 10-point lead over 5th-ranked Illinois into the locker room. Michigan State in a game they really need to make a run at March. They have a 10-point lead in this one over the Illini.
Langford has it. On the baseline, spinning, stops, pops. Oh, what a nice shot by Josh Langford.
3 weeks and then to come back and in this conference is tough.
Whoa, what a challenge by Bingham with the rejection inside.
I think it's getting a little chippy out there.
Really
Matt.
chippy, yeah. It did at the end of the first half, and it's continuing here into the second.
He'll attack, and Dosumu has it tipped away and going the other way. Henry with the challenge. Ahead comes Watts. He'll push end to end. Layup good. Michigan State by 16 over 5th-ranked Illinois. Henry in traffic. No, the follow, yes. Bingham strong inside with 2 and a chance for 1 more.
Wow.
Haven't had a field goal in nearly 3 minutes. Dosumu changes that on the baseline.
With the ball, Langford drives the baseline. Bank shot is good.
And that's another great move by Joshua Langford.
Look at Carpello going all the way in. Good answer.
Underneath, hook shot fired over there by Coburn. It's good. Lead is cut to 12, 64-52, 6:30 left.
It's a 12-point lead. You have to keep attacking if you're Michigan State, but for Illinois, they are just grinding right now.
10 on the shot clock. Rocket wants to drive. He does. Off balance shot. Oh my goodness. What a shot that just dropped by Rocket wide.
Frazier inside. High off the window. 9-point game again. Michigan State looking for a big win to start this final kick. Hauser. What a three! Henry! Ho-ho! Henry! Number 5 about to be upset at Michigan State. Watts ahead to Brown, and Brown with a cherry on top for the Spartans.
They have found a way to upset and defeat the 5th-ranked team in all the land.
Please recognize number 1, Joshua Langford.
I appreciate these players, for Connor, for Kyle, for Joshua, who, by the way, we're not quite sure what Joshua's doing yet.
I think the biggest thing is just learning that I have my own journey and I have my own race to run. And a lot of times in life, I think you can kind of look at other people and you can begin to compare yourself. And I think it was Theodore Roosevelt that said, comparison is a thief of joy. Just realizing that I have my own race and that's okay. And I think the more that you get an understanding of that, the better you will be able to, walk in your destiny. That's what I would tell the younger Joshua Langford. Nick, Miles, and Cassius Winston. Unbelievable class. Great opportunity to be a part of what they were calling the class as we came in. It was just fun, coming in with those guys.
Offensive rebound, though, and a lot of traffic by Nick Ward as all of the freshmen are in right now for Michigan State. And there's Langford knocking down the jumpers.
How good is this freshman class? I think it's really good.
We had a lot of success. I think the biggest thing that was kind of surprising to me is that we all scored 1,000 points. That whole group, me, Nick, Cash, and Miles, I think that speaks volumes to, the kind of players, that we are. How well our coaches developed us and helped us, become better over our time here. My 2 closest friends when I got here was Tum Tum Nairn and Miles Bridges. Really, all of my teammates helped me a lot, but the 2 closest guys was Miles and Tum, and we kind of really stuck together. Coach has a saying, he said that we stuck together thicker than thieves. We were always around each other, and I think just having them around just really helped me a lot. And I think that just speaks to life in general, how you just can't expect to get through anything in life without having good relationships. December 27, 2018. I got the date pinned in my head, but it was kind of a lingering thing. It wasn't like an initial I took off wrong or I landed wrong. It wasn't that type of injury. It was just something that kind of progressed over time.
And there you see the boots that Josh Langford is sporting had an MRI today. They will get the reading on that tomorrow. So for now, he is day-to-day, unclear on exactly what it is. And of course, they'll have more information here, but.
As I found out, it was a stress fracture. I ended up having to get surgery. Then I went through that recovery process. That process, it wasn't an easy process. You have to just cut my chest open and look at my heart and really see, the disappointment that I had. The way I was playing, the way I felt like things were gonna go for me and the team. We went to the Final Four that year. So it was definitely difficult for me, just having to get through that season, especially that first year. Having to get through that, having to deal with that, it definitely was hard, but I had a lot of great people around me.
But it's also leadership. And Joshua Langford is one of the leaders of this team. He's one of the best defenders. 5 to shoot, underneath to Tillman. What a find.
I would have been cheating my teammates had I just checked out. Even though I wasn't playing on the court, I still was a part of the team. Our GA at the time, Chris Fowler, one thing that we had talked about was me just using this time to just find my voice and to really just try to be effective in the game and be effective for my teammates.
So big.
Of course, that was uncomfortable for me because I'd never been in that position before. You know, when you use your seasons of adversity with the right perspective, you can always get something out of it. That was kind of my mindset with it. You know, I just wanted to see what else I could do to not just better myself, but also better my teammates and my coaches.
Josh, I'm sorry to hear it, man.
I guess there are no words to describe the frustration that you're feeling right now, right?
Everything that God allows is always something on the other end of it. And so I'm just taking it in stride and just making sure that I, remain in my faith. Because, at the end of the day, basketball is, it's not who I am. It doesn't define me as a person. Where I get my identity is in Jesus Christ. So
Did you have an idea?
Realized I had to get surgery again because it was fractured a different way in my navicular bone. That one knocked the wind out of me. Just doing all that to get back, the rehab, the different stretching, the uncomfortable foam rolling, all these different things that, that I'm thinking like, okay, I'm putting in the time, having my hands out and then somebody just coming and just knocking my hands down again, it was just devastating. I had gave all I got, after that first one. I think that's when I kind of just checked out mentally. You can see the difference in years versus my first year, I was sitting at the front of the bench. Then my second year, I was sitting at the end of the bench. At first, I still had hopes. And then once it happened again, it just made my heart sick. It was just like, wow, what else? What else am I gonna do? At that point, I kind of was thinking, maybe basketball isn't in the cards for me anymore. Maybe I need to start focusing on trying to do other things. I was making a resume for different jobs. I actually applied for a teaching job. It was just like, man, like, wow, my dreams, it just looked like they had got taken away from me. And it was hard for me. It was really hard for me to get through that.
He's one of those guys that everybody in the world pulls for. It doesn't matter if you're a Michigan State fan, everybody pulls for somebody who's been through a lot in his life. And Josh at an early age had a little illness that almost cost him his life. And I think that helped bring perspective to Josh. But since the day he came on this campus, he's been a worker. Good student, great person on and off the court, incredible family. Joshua Langford's one of those guys you pull for.
I think it's an array of things that I can attest to me being able to come back. I think first and foremost was my relationship with Jesus Christ. He really helped me get through it. Had I not have a relationship with him, I don't think he would see me right now. I think I'll be somewhere, in an insane asylum or something like that, Just because of how much pressure that was on me mentally. My relationship with people really helped me. Probably would have just quit on myself. It was almost like those people around me were pulling me through because I had pulled myself through as hard as I could. Pulling myself through as hard as I could didn't do anything for me. So it was just like the relationships I had were just dragging me and just, come on, Josh. Come on, keep going, you got it. And that's how I got through it. I didn't get through it by myself.
To take something away that meant so much to him. He could have thrown in the towel, could have been, why me, feel sorry for me. And not only didn't he do that, but he actually worked harder on getting better. And so as a role model for my own kids, hopefully someday my grandkids, and definitely my team, Josh Langford has been everything I could ask of a player.
First game that I got ready to play, in my mind I'm like, okay, am I really about to get on this court and go play? Like, it's been 2 years. It was almost hard to believe because I had been used to 2 years sitting on the bench, coming out the tunnel, in a boot or on a scooter. The process of even coming back, it hasn't been easy neither. It's been difficult. Having to get your timing back, having to get your rhythm back, having to realize that, okay, my mind is telling me to do one thing, but my body isn't used to doing that. It's been challenging mentally.
Lawyer, back to Hauser in the wing. Langford for 1,000. He got it.
Wow.
He got it.
How about that?
Welcome to the club, the 52nd Spartan to do it.
You know, when I leave Michigan State, I won't say that I was successful because I scored 1,000 points. I was successful because I'm not the same person that I was when I came in. And I think that's the true definition of success. It's not about how many things you can accumulate. It's about how you becoming a better person. You know, how are you growing mentally. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it's the Lord's will that will prevail. And what that verse means is that we have our plans, but God has his plans. Some things that you plan for yourself aren't actually as good as the plans that God has for you. You know, you use me as an example. It didn't necessarily look like things were going well for me because of what happened outwardly. But I would tell you that I wouldn't trade those things in for the world because I'm a better person. And I think when you have that mindset to life, you will thrive. You just won't be surviving. We have so much potential, but sometimes our plans are actually hindering our potential. I feel like I'm going to leave here a man. I came here with different expectations, you know, in terms of basketball. But at the end of the day, Michigan State has given me more than just the ability to shoot a jump shot better. They've given me principles and they've given me perspectives and given me a mindset that I can really apply to my life. It's meant everything to me.
But now you got to, like I said, keep your emotions under control. Play with some. Play with them. Make sure that it's important, but keep it under control. 40 minutes of focusing on doing your job.
This is a team a couple days ago, people said, no chance they make the NCAA tournament. Totally different story right now today with opportunities galore.
It's nice to beat number 5, so why not play number 4 next? Because it's murderer's row schedule-wise for Michigan State. We try to find a way through this thing and play ourselves back into postseason consideration.
As Michigan State gets it into the post, rapid fire for an opening 2.
Boy, the transition offense for Michigan State. Made shot, missed shot, does not matter. They are coming.
Working, passing the wing. Henry wide open for a 3-ball. He got it.
Washington carves 2 defenders and scores for the first Ohio State lead tonight.
Right now, Michigan State, again, being super physical and getting out and running.
Oh, the hit ahead for Henry. And Michigan State looks like a totally different team as Washington finds his way to the rim again. He has been awesome early.
Down low, Bingham all by himself. He slipped right behind the Buckeye defense for that slant.
Double came late from Hogard. Oh, a little fake pass off the ball fake. Walker splashes down a 3. That was awesome. The Intercontinental title fight continues down low, and that is tonight.
Boy, is that key. You said it early, Jason. This could be a game for him, and he has certainly performed like that.
So we have come to the halfway point here of our game this evening. Buckeyes lead it 38-33.
Barnes stayed with Langford. Watts catch and shoot. Got it for 3 in the corner.
That was a missile from Josh Langford.
Washington. That is smooth.
Boy, the body control he's got.
Another beautiful pass. They are so crisp passing as a group as Walker and the Buckeyes take a 9-point lead into a Michigan State timeout.
Michigan State's got to find a way to get Aaron Henry involved here.
That floater is good for Henry and Michigan State cutting into this run as Orange plays safety again, and this time he's denied at the rim, plucked away by Michigan State. Will this be a turning point? Brown the pull-up, and he's got it to make it a 5-point game. Oh, Henry right down the boulevard for 2 and a foul. This game has been high-level intensity, energy spilling out at the Breslin Center as Hauser catches and drops it in. Oh, there it is. Liddell banging and clanging and missed it. And no foul call.
Aaron Henry holding his ground.
Henry on the move off the catch. flushes it down. Oh, goodness.
Well, Ohio State going 1-3-1. They haven't shown this all night.
Langford, pull up. He cashes in. Washington with 7. Washington missed it short. Rebound for Langford. Somebody's got a foul. And there it comes with under 2 seconds to go. And Michigan State may have just put it away.
And the clock hits 0. And Michigan State is serving notice. Michigan State 71. And 4th ranked Ohio State 67.